Remember when I saw, sorry, yeah. Well, I have to
Recording in
rearrange
progress.
now. I know, but I had to just really quickly rearrange, and I might have to rearrange again. It's a nice
I couldn't hear you.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see where I am serving the
Okay.
most.
Guess we're beefing.
I just want the lighting to be better.
Okay, everyone. Welcome/welcome back.
Hello.
Let me pull this little ditty up.
All right, while she's pulling that little ditty up, um, I'm gonna talk about what we're talking about tonight, and what we're talking about tonight is the
There's so
2020
many things going on in my screen.
sorry, I have this microphone now. So I'm having some fun with it, but I'm not gonna blow into it again. We are going to be talking about the 2023 Oscars
Yup.
that I didn't see personally.
Yes,
Grayson,
would you like to discuss your experience watching the Oscars secondhand?
my experience is that I don't have cable, so it wasn't gonna happen for me. But I told Grace to FaceTime me in, which she pretty much did. Well, I gotta watch my P's. She kind of just like she kept me up to date. She kept me going with things, and she did a very beautiful job. Like I even went to bed at one point, except I didn't. I actually did stay up till 4 that night, but I was like, keep
Whoa.
texting me, and she did, and it was a great time. And I was also like on Twitter for a lot of it, so I was getting like
Twitter,
double the
like if you're on Twitter, you're basically watching the Oscars.
exactly, yeah, no, and it was, yeah. So I got the highlights, no lowlights.
And my
Mm.
experience was that me and my mom took, and that's what we did last year. And we saw the slap that in that state of mind. And let me tell you, it was crazy. We actually thought people were pulling a prank on us. We couldn't decide if it was real or staged. We were very confused. As was all of society, but like there was just like an added level to it. But yeah. Moving on. So Ella didn't get this part of the experience because I was telling her some of the jokes he was saying, but I was mostly just telling her like who was winning, right? And my thoughts on that. But we're going to start off talking about Jimmy Kimmel's hosting. And we're going to start it off light and positive and fun and fresh. And here's some of the jokes that I thought were funny that he said. So first one, he was talking about James Cameron, and he said, "How do you not nominate the director of Avatar? Who does the Academy think he is? A woman?" And I thought that was pretty good.
Funny.
That was pretty good.
It's pretty good. You actually, yeah, you didn't tell me any of the jokes. You just
Yeah.
said he made a joke. And you'd be like, he made a joke. He made another joke. But I didn't really care. I don't know too much about Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. And then another one that I actually like laughed out loud at was, as I look around this crowd tonight, I have to wonder, is Ozempic right for me? Mostly because before that, me and my mom were talking. We were like, we should play a game of like, we should guess who's on Ozempic. And that's what we did throughout the night. We only had two people on Ozempic, but anyways.
Who were they?
Well,
Can you
Mindy
say that?
Kaling, which wasn't our like own original theory, but that is someone who we think is on Ozempic. And then another one was someone my mom pointed out who I honestly have never heard of, but her name is Lauren Ash. She was like in Superstore, which was a show my mom watched. But anyways, that was another person.
Oh, just a reminder, you and me. I forgot we're on like cheap Zoom, so we
It's
have
gonna be
40
40 minutes.
minutes. It's gonna
Yeah.
be 40 minutes, and we will get cut off. So
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
Um, Another joke I thought was funny that other people didn't like was there are some things the movies can do that TV can't. For example, a TV show can't lose $100 million. Is The Gang from Babylon here? Because Babylon was a movie that lost a lot of money, was like a bomb. And I just think it's funny to point out when movies lose money. I'm sorry. I think it's funny. And then he made a bunch of Nicole Kidman AMC jokes, which I always love. I'm sorry that I'm like this, but that's just my cup of tea. And then he obviously is Jimmy Kimmel, so he's gonna flop a little bit. And one of the jokes that I didn't think was funny and was just like get away from her, like actually get away from her, sir, like please, Malala, get behind me, was when he went up to Malala. And it was like he was trying to be like tongue in cheek, like a little ironic about it, like, oh, like it's so funny that I'm asking Malala, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, about this. But he was like, do you think Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine? And I was like, you need to stop. You need to get away from this woman.
The thing
Another
is about that joke, I did see it, is that wasn't even like a like if you're gonna do that, at least pick a moment that like people care about. Not like actually care about, but like that wasn't even like relevant enough to
yeah,
like even work in any way. Like if you're gonna, you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like I didn't even know that that happened. Like I forgot about that.
I didn't forget about it because of that really funny edit where it where it looks
With the
like
goat.
he threw a goat on him. I just love a little edit. What can I say?
I love a little edit.
There was just a goat that day. And then another joke that I thought kind of bombed was when he was like, hey, no one's gonna slap me because I have this person in the audience to defend me, like Michelle Yeoh. I have Michael B. Jordan from Creed, and I have Spider-Man, and it like panned to Andrew Garfield, and like no one clapped because he's not like the iconic Spider-Man, and he was just like,
Wait,
okay.
I didn't get that that was why I didn't understand that joke at all.
Oh, and
I
the
also didn't know it was about the slap. I thought he was just naming people.
No, it was about the slap, but the added layer to it was last year a video of Andrew Garfield leaving the Oscars came out where he was like laughing about the slap and he was like
I saw he was
like you can't see, you obviously don't know what he's saying, but like he's very obviously talking about the slap, like he literally acts out the slap and he's like laughing about it. So like he didn't think it was that serious. Like he probably like thought it was funny. There's also like a photo of him like texting his friends right after it happened. Um but yeah, it was stupid. I hated every joke about the slap. There were four or like maybe five. There was just like too many of them. Even if there was one, it would have been too many. Because like all of the jokes that could have been made about the slap have already been made because it's all Twitter talked about for literally like 2 months. Like, we don't need to keep bringing it up. It's like maybe it would have been weird if he never mentioned it because like it is the elephant in the room, but it was just like we get it, like we know what happened, like it was crazy, but whatever. And then another classic Jimmy Kimmel joke that he made was my banshees are stuck in my inisherin, and that was actual crickets because what the fuck does that mean? Like what are you talking about right now? What the fuck is your inisherin?
I like that one. That one would have got me. I wish I heard that. I get it.
But it's just like
Sorry, I literally
when
get
Jimmy
it.
Kimmel was announced as the host of the Oscars, people were on Twitter being like, "Oh, he's gonna like make a joke like, oh, my Top Gun was surely Maverick," or like some shit like that like doesn't make sense. And that's literally like one of the first things he said. And I was just like, "Oh, it's gonna be a long night." And it was because he made fucking four slap jokes. Okay, so it's crickets. These were categories that
Guys,
like
I also saw like nothing. Can I just say,
yeah.
can we maybe we should say what we saw?
Okay, let's pull up our letter.
Um, oh, that's not gonna help here because
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm not
you
dutiful. I saw everything ever all at once. I saw Tar, I saw the Banshees, I saw today. I saw The Whale, I saw an hour of Elvis. I have a lot to say about that. I made it.
an
You said
hour is
watch
all you
20
need.
minutes, and I made it an hour.
Yeah, good.
God, what else did I watch? I didn't watch Triangle of Sadness.
Me neither.
I didn't watch The Fablemans. Did not watch All's Quiet. Didn't watch Pinocchio. Didn't watch yeah, so like most things. I feel like there was another one I did watch, but it'll probably come up.
Okay, here's the ones that I've seen. Everything Everywhere, All Quiet on the Western Front, Banshees of Inisherin, Avatar: Way of Water, Pinocchio, Tar, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, RRR, Empire of Light, I watched a little bit of. Glass Onion.
Glass Onion was.
It was adapted screenplay.
Then I did see that.
Yeah, I'm not listing best pictures. I'm listing every movie that's nominated that I saw. Argentina 1985, Bardo, Chronicle of Truths, The Batman. We both saw that.
Saw that.
Turning Red, Fire of Love. Yeah, that's what I saw. But I didn't see the only ones I didn't see that matter. Top Gun, Women Talking, Fabelmans, The Whale. I didn't see those ones. Or Navalny, because I'm about to talk about that one. But yeah. So basically it's crickets is the category of Oscar categories or of wins where like I'm not gonna riot, but I'm also not gonna give it a standing ovation. So the first one was documentary feature, and that went to Navalny, which was a pretty obvious choice for the Academy because it's like a war documentary. I wanted Fire of Love to win because that was like really incredible and amazing, but it's fine. Um, International feature film went to All Quiet on the Western Front, which is just another war movie. It's just another Netflix war movie. You don't need to see it. Literally, the thesis of it is war is bad, and that's all. And it's not, it doesn't get any deeper than that. That is the whole thing. And it's like 2 hours of the horrors of war, which all power to you. Like, that's so true. Like, war is bad. Like, I agree. But it's also German. But anyways, sound went to Top Gun Maverick, which yeah, that was gonna happen. Oh,
it was gonna happen. I wasn't aware about that.
Okay, well that's true. I mean, none of us were aware technically.
Whoever said it was gonna happen?
Well, actually, I did because actually great transition because I had an Oscar prediction list and I got 13 out of 19 categories right, which isn't that great.
That's no, that's really good because I had like 0. Nothing. Okay. I thought nothing did what I thought it would.
Okay.
I mean, granted, I saw like 2% of the movies, but still.
But you can see sound. Yeah. I kind of predicted that one. I
actually can't see, but I believe you.
Oh yeah, so it's like not a big deal.
Because like I feel like it like again didn't see it, but it just like didn't seem like it sounded good.
You were not impressed.
I was not impressed. I mean, I saw the trailer 8 million fucking times before every movie, so it didn't sound very good. Is all I'm gonna say. It sounded fine. It was loud,
but it's like it's just planes and making plane noises. And the Academy loves the plane. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could have done
I just did it.
I could have done it. I'm just saying. Also, production design went to All Quiet. Bitch, they were in the mud 99% of the movie.
I can do it. Not in these.
It's literally giving.
Wait. Enough, because I know that's like gross.
And then makeup went to The Whale, which I had to have a little chuckle at that one. Not
it's
because
just like sorry, go on.
No, you go.
They just did something that was like I mean we talked about this because I was like, what? Like they just did something that was like technically well done.
Yes.
For one character.
Literally
one. Because Sadie Sink's makeup did not slap.
No, because that's the thing that makes me mad. If they're gonna do the whole like prosthetics, like technicality thing, you could still give it to Elvis, which was the one that I predicted, because Elvis, Austin Butler was in like prosthetics, like in the same kind of thing with like a. Is
that true?
Yes.
Well, I didn't make it that far then.
Yeah, no, it's.
I thought you meant like they made him his face. Like,
no. And Tom Hanks was in the fat suit and the prosthetics the whole movie. But then on top of, so that's 2 characters. So that's twice as much as The Whale does. And you have like actual good makeup, like makeup that looks good. Like Priscilla's makeup looked good, or, you know, like, and it was like a period piece. Like it was impressive makeup artistry. But then they just gave it to The Whale for like doing a big fat suit.
I mean, I will say I watched it and it was really like well done. And I think it did have an artistic component of it in that like it wasn't like yes, it was good because it was technically good, but it didn't look realistic.
Oh,
Like, and I
okay.
don't know that it was like trying to. Like it did look like a little bit like monstrous. And I think that was cool. But like that being said, there are just better picks. Like that's how I feel about a lot of wins is like I don't think they're bad, but they're just better options.
Yeah. And like, not that Everything Everywhere needed more awards or more nominations, but it wasn't even nominated, and the makeup in that is really cool. But that's just
True.
my opinion. Like the Academy just sometimes it feels like they don't care about like creativity and like artistry and stuff like that and like making things fun. They kind of just care about like technicals, like awarding technical stuff, which is fine.
Until they give Top Gun sound.
Yeah, because we can do that.
Because we literally
We can
just
literally do, and
we
we
showed
have,
that we could do that and we have.
and we have, and did. Okay, next. Not surprised slash well deserved. This was like stuff that I was like, yeah, this makes sense, but I wasn't like about like I wasn't like screaming, but I thought made sense. So best actor went to Brendan Fraser. I would have voted for Colin Farrell if I was in the Academy, but part of that's just because he's really hot. And then best director
I
went to Daniels.
disagree. I disagree, but I wouldn't have given it to Colin Farrell. I thought he did a great job, but I thought Brendan Fraser also did a really good job. And I don't know that I saw any of the other performances. It wasn't Austin
Well,
Butler though.
Elvis, you saw.
Well, maybe Austin Butler should have won because he got. The only reason I turned that movie off was because like I had to go to bed, but like I was a little captivated. I do. I like Brendan Fraser's win.
Okay.
I'll take it here. He was the
Direct-
best part of that movie by far.
oh yeah,
That everyone else was whatever.
kind of
Sadie
fun.
Sink's character horribly written, in
Yeah.
my opinion. But whatever. Whatever.
Director went to Daniels, made sense. Editing went to Everything Everywhere, made sense. Costume design went
Also,
to...
everyone was talking about like the hot editor from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh yeah.
And then I looked him up and I was like,
Wait, I need to look at
really?
it.
Like this your man? He's fine.
I think
Sorry.
you're just like
I don't
not
mean to talk
expecting an
about
actor
appearance,
to
but
look like that.
like it just was like that's just one like as I really have slim pickings to talk about this year, so that's one thing I do remember people talking about. I was like, ooh, he's so hot. Maybe
He's
he had a
hot.
hot voice though.
He's hot for an editor. He's hot for a
I'll
person
give
who
it
gets on
that,
stage
sure.
on the Oscars in a category that isn't like acting. You know, you're not
Yeah, sure.
expecting. You're not expecting that.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, detour.
Yeah. Costume design went to Black Panther. I thought that was well deserved. I thought it was gonna go to Elvis though, but makes sense. I'm not mad. Adapted screenplay went to Women Talking, which was the one that I guessed.
My mom loved that movie.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things about the screenplay and like the performances. Original screenplay went to Everything Everywhere, which was my pick and my guess. Visual
What is screenplay that is
writing,
not anything else?
dialogue. It's just okay. Do you mean like why would you give it to screenplay and not director, for example?
No, like what is screenplay? What does the category screenplay entail that other categories don't? Like writing?
Yeah, it's the script, so it's the dialogue and the story.
Okay.
So like you might get screenplay and not get best picture if like the dialogue was strong and the story was like complex in a good way, but maybe like the editing wasn't that good or like the sound wasn't that good or the score wasn't that good
So
or
just like yeah, like the script. They should
yeah.
call it best script. That's my vote.
Okay.
That'd be a lot clearer.
And then visual effects went to Avatar, which like duh.
Fine. I know someone who saw Avatar 6 times in theaters.
That is 18 hours of your
I
life.
know.
Who was it?
I'm not saying names.
Say a name.
Rhymes with schmoosey.
Okay.
If that rings a bell. I don't. It actually might not ring a bell, but
It rings a bell.
it's that did happen.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then this category was I'm like, okay, what the
I'm
fuck?
like, okay, what the fuck?
All Quiet getting best score. You're telling me you're gonna cart a 91-year-old John Williams, legend of the industry, has been nominated for an Oscar 54 times and won 5 times, and you're gonna make Jimmy Kimmel make a joke about that? And then you're gonna give it to All Quiet? The fucking and then every
Wait, what was the score? Was it
that it was literally just
was that an
that.
instrument or was that like a ship? No one can hear now. Okay. But what was that?
So that was the score, and every
I
time,
know that was the score, but what was it? An instrument or
yeah,
a ship? Okay. A trumpet? Sorry, trombone. It was giving
I
trombone.
don't know. I'm not a trombonist. I'm not a tromboner.
I am. I was gonna make a better joke, but I don't feel like it. And sometimes you really just don't.
Sometimes you can't muster it.
Sometimes you can't.
Sometimes it's all quiet on the joking
It's
front.
quiet.
But you know what wasn't quiet?
People talking and then well, it was
Women
quiet when they
talking.
got cut off.
Women talking. Because
Hey,
women talk loud.
that's us right now. This is women
This is women talking.
and that's cinema.
But anyways, what I was gonna say was All Quiet getting best score every single time that an All Quiet got an award and they went on stage, they played.
Now I like know the noise you're talking about.
Yeah,
I get it now.
and it was so ridiculous because literally the irony was like All Quiet was like the enemy, like the villain of award season because it's just a boring war movie. So like no one's excited about it, no one really cares, like no one really wants it to win anything. And but everyone knows that it's going to win like all the technical stuff just cuz like that's how it goes.
That's the way of the water.
It's the way of the water. And you know, and then they play that music that sounds like Darth Vader. And on top of it all, they're German. My enemy. And then speaking of
Sorry, I thought that was where the joke was gonna go, or that's where you were gonna go at that point. So I already jumped the gun talking about the people getting their speeches cut off. Whoa, that vocal
okay.
fry getting their speeches cut off.
You know, it
Right, keep
wasn't
talking,
All
woman.
Quiet getting these people's speeches cut off. So yeah. But they did that to 3 different people. You would think that they would have learned a thing or two after the first round bout, but hey, Jimmy came back for another round. And they did that 2 more times. And it was so funny every time it happened because this poor person who was winning for like makeup or some shit would like approach the mic and the music would already be playing and then they'd be like, oh. Anyways. And so then they anyways, another thing that I'm like, okay, what the fuck is Charlie Dean not being in the in memoriam. So she was the star of Triangle of Sadness, and she died in August, and they didn't put her in the in memoriam. And I looked into this, and according to like Entertainment Weekly, the way that the Academy picks the people for being in memoriam is you don't need to be a member of the Academy. So it wasn't that. And there isn't like they can edit it up to like a few weeks, and she died in August, so like they had enough time. They get 300 submissions, about 300 submissions for the people that they're going to put in memoriam, and then this members of the Academy will like sift through them and decide like about 40 people who are relevant enough or like made contributions to the industry, and then they'll put them in. But how are you going to argue that she's not relevant enough when she's literally in one of the Best Picture nominations?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Thus,
It is like I'm not gonna say sus because that sounds like conspiracy theory esque. It's just like stupid. Like what? Like what were you thinking?
yeah. And then the worst thing that's ever happened to me
Mm-hmm.
and the was when Jamie Lee won Best Supporting Actress. And I actually have so many opinions on this. So
I do as well. Go
basically,
ahead, Grace.
there were 3 people in that category that could have gotten it over her. And usually when this happens, when it's like an upset, it's like 1 or maybe 2 other people that could have been awarded that same award and didn't. But in this case, it's literally 3 people that are like glaringly obviously better, like more
Was it
deserving of the
Stephanie,
award.
Angela, and Carrie?
Stephanie, yeah, Angela and Carrie. And Hong Chow was like good too. Like I honestly
Was she
wouldn't have been
nominated for
mad
the whale?
for the
She's
whale.
nominated for the menu.
That would have been iconic. Honestly, they should have done that.
They should have. She was the best
Because
part
she
of that
ate in that.
movie. She was.
She
Yeah, she
truly
did.
ate. Um, yeah, but they gave it to Jamie Lee because they're stuck in this cycle of like, oh, we need to award these people who've made significant contributions to film throughout their careers. And like, we should be giving these career Oscars out to like old people who have had like fantastic careers. And okay, I get that. But the reason you do that is because when they were young, you didn't award them and you didn't recognize them and you didn't appreciate them when they were young and when they had like multiple really good performances in their career. And that running out of time.
We could also, I just thought about this. I could make a video and then we could stitch them
Okay.
because we're not going to get to everything. I know it in my heart and soul.
Yeah. We have 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not looking good for us.
It's not
But it
looking
is
good.
looking good because we can do a little stitchy poo.
We can, yeah.
We can iMovie that she.
But yeah. Yeah, they don't appreciate the young actors when they're giving their good performances because they keep giving it to like the older actors. Like for like more mediocre performances, but in order to like acknowledge their career overall. But it's like that is literally the cycle that you're trapping yourself in when you keep giving it to like the career Oscars, you know?
I
Like
agree, yeah.
you're giving it to Jamie Lee instead of like Carrie Condon and Stephanie Sue, who are like up and coming actresses who are like younger and like this is one of their earlier works. And they're delivering like incredible performances, but you're like ignoring them for a career Oscar, and that's stupid. And even if you are going to go the career Oscar route, Angela Bassett is right there with the better and more relevant performance. And
Can I
yes,
ask a question?
yes,
What movie was she in? I did not know she was
Angela
nominated.
Bassett was in Black Panther, which is a Marvel movie. So like they probably weren't going to I guess they weren't going to give it to her because it's like a Marvel movie, so it's like it's taken less seriously, which I understand. And like I don't think Marvel is deserving of like a bunch of Oscars, but if you look at like just her performance, I thought it was first of all, she I think has more screen time, like more dialogue than Jamie Lee had. So it's like a bigger role anyways. Like it's more of a supporting role. And she just gives a better performance. Like she has a wider range of emotions that she shows in it.
Yeah,
Like
that's what I was gonna say.
yeah.
Like the thing about Jamie Lee is I thought she did a great job. Like I thought she did because it's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna do a good job. Like I thought she was great. Like if you asked me like how do you think Jamie Lee did in Everything Everywhere All at Once? I said like she killed it. Like she was amazing. But that doesn't mean she should win. Like that's what I was saying how I feel about a lot of the picks is it's like nothing about it was bad. Like nothing about
Yeah.
her performance. I don't no notes. But like what? Like she was like not like relevant enough
I
to
yeah,
the story.
exactly.
She was like comic relief.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
It was weird. It just
Whatever.
made me mad.
Yeah.
It was just
It was expected, but
for me it wasn't expected.
I thought nominating her kind of sealed the deal.
Nominating her wasn't expected for me, and then
That exactly. Nominating it wasn't expected, but then once she was nominated, I was like, I
and
just feel like
literally,
that's gonna
what was the
happen.
point in making Ariana DeBose announce that award and not letting her give it to Angela Bassett? Like, that was just so upsetting to me. Like, we
Yeah,
had a real life Angela Bassett did the thing moment,
I know that. Ooh,
and we were robbed. We were robbed. Um.
is
Anyways,
that the award that Paul Mescal was like, ooh,
no. That was
that would be
what?
that would be really funny if he like
I
had
wish.
that.
No, that was when someone was cut off making
Mm.
their speech, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, okay." Oh, why am I not allowed to scroll? Hello? Oh, there we
Click
go.
on it. There you
Okay, we
go.
come to this place for magic, and let me move my. Ooh, let me move my bang. Oh, where's my mouse? Do you see my
Wait,
mouse?
I
Where's my
don't see
mouse
your
at?
mouse.
Oh, ooh,
Oh,
she's an appearance. There we go. Okay. Um, so we come to this place for magic. This is the highlights for me. This was my favorite categories. Michelle Yeoh won for Best Actress. That was great. No complaints. No notes. No notes.
I think she deserved it. I'm frozen. No, I'm not. I'm just sitting really still. I'm sorry. I was like, what the fuck? I think she deserved it a lot. My personal pick would have been Kate.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that's yeah.
That
Because
makes
Everything Everywhere All at Once was my favorite movie for of the year for most of the year, and like it is in a way, like, but Tar really changed my life. And like I like just like Kate and Michelle, like I love you both, and like either one would have made me happy, and they did make me happy, but like in my heart and soul, I was writing a little bit for Kate.
okay. I think that's fair. I also thought her performance was really good. Like, I wouldn't have been mad if she won either. But I liked the moment of Michelle winning because it was like Halle Berry giving her Oscar, and like Halle
Yeah,
Berry was the first woman of color, Michelle's the second woman of color, the first Asian woman. So like that was cool, and Jessica Chastain was there,
first ginger.
and she's ginger, so
She's
it's
the
like
first ginger.
first ginger,
Yeah.
literally
No, yeah, that was cool.
historical moments. Thank you.
And I do think it's a little funny that Tar won nothing.
Yeah, it's weird, but
It's weird, but it's funny.
it's fun. It makes sense for the
Yeah.
movie. It's like
Yeah.
perfect. Kei Hui Kwan won.
Yes.
And that was everything. That was incredible.
Everywhere all at
That was
once.
everything everywhere all at once, honestly. And then as we said, everything everywhere all at once won Best Picture, and that was great.
I have some thoughts about everything ever all at
Okay,
once.
let's hear
I've thought it over. Well, this is just like what I think.
it. Okay.
And like I don't know, this might not people might not agree with this, but to me everything ever all at once must be nice if you like art to pander, flatter your vanities, authorize your attitudes, preserve you from exposure to anything that is not a positivist jamboree with the pacifying sucker of pert little morals, so many ready mades lying in store. So
Oh,
dig with that what you will.
okay. And then
Just kidding.
Guillermo.
I don't agree with that. It was a great movie.
I
I
disavow
actually
that actually.
I just about that.
I actually love positivist jamborees. So
I do.
I'm sorry
I'm
I
a
did.
big fan of them. I always have been a big fan of them, and I've always been like an advocate for them.
I
And
like
anyone who
the
knows me
morals
would agree with that.
and so many ready-mades. I just love those
So
things.
many ready mades.
These are a few of my favorite things. Sorry, just a little music break.
These are a few of my favorite
Hey, you get dinner
things.
in the show. Okay, anyway. And then another category that I was happy about was Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio won let me start over. Another category that I was really excited about was when Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio won Best Animated Feature because I loved it.
I think I would have.
What?
I bet I would have liked it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine not liking it.
It's stop motion and it's like fun. And there's
At least
Benito.
Puss in Boots didn't win. Thank God. I'm sorry. That movie just annoyed me.
Oh,
I
did you
never
see
saw it. No. But just I saw um like stills from it. That's what it's called, like or frames or whatever, and it just like annoyed me. Like the cat's face, I didn't like.
Well, I liked Pinocchio because Benito Mussolini is in it, and he says, "I like a puppets,"
Oh,
and
it's
that's my
cute.
favorite line of the year.
I like a puppets.
I like a puppets.
I like a puppet.
And then Natu Natu won Best Original Song, Best Original Song. I don't know, Best Song.
I think there's only one song category.
No, yeah, you're right, but I can't remember if it's just Best Song or Best Original Song. Um. But I think I should win that for my little favorite things moment.
These are a few
These
of
are
my
a few
favorite things.
And then another thing I was happy about was that Elvis didn't win a thing.
Robbed.
And and we'll see you next time on Ella's computer because we have less than a minute and
Because I have some things to say about Elvis.
bite the bullet. So that's a little cliffhanger. So yeah.
All right.
Gagged.
Have lunch.
Oh,
Lunch break.
have lunch.
I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best fucking night of my life. And whatever it takes, yeah, I'm down for the ride. I'm good. Oop, that level's a little high. I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best fucking night of my life. And whatever it takes.
Oh boy.
She's blue, da ba dee da.
What are you talking about?
I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright, baby. Someone's moved a chair above me, and it sounded it sounded like the noises in fucking Western
Top Gun?
in Top Gun. Yeah. Oh my god, Rachel just texted me, I'm blue. I didn't know it was that loud.
That's funny.
She just knew.
She just knew that day.
Maybe she's just blue right now, and she just want to let me know. Maybe she's sad.
She could be. It's spreading.
Ah!
Do you want to see my shirt I'm wearing?
I love cheating. Wow. That's good. Where'd you get that from? The Snooki shop? No? Do you guys know we have a Snooki shop in our town? Oh. Or do we?
Hey, I'm trying to gatekeep that. Thank
Or do
you.
we? No, I just
It's a
love
little
it for
secret.
fun. I just made that up for fun.
Secret
Instead of some
treasures.
drama.
Hidden
Can I
treasures.
honestly raise one eyebrow? I didn't do it.
Not in the moment. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can do
really
both
could.
sides.
All
Just
right,
saying.
I don't really care. People who can like do it too well get too much clout. Like,
I haven't seen a. Where's my
support for people who can
AdSense?
like only kind of raise an eyebrow and only do it on one side? Because like we're trying harder. That's the thing. Because like anyone who can like do it with ease, like they're not trying. They were born being able to do that. But like I had to work for this.
You're saying I'm a nepo baby,
Yeah, I'm saying pretty much.
like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Sure, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Like
well,
me. I'm an Nepo baby, but
I am too because my dad's Quentin Tarantino, but I don't like to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think we should talk about it. Because, like, I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
No, yeah.
Like,
Let's move
and
on.
there's just, like, too much to unpack there, and this is not the
Yeah,
place for it. No, yeah, like, I think we should
it's
move
a lot.
past it.
This podcast is like more like fun loving.
Yeah, it's, like,
We
not
don't talk
about,
about
like,
dark.
we don't unpack that kind of stuff here.
You know, this isn't therapy. Like, bitch.
Bitch, you thought this was therapy? This ain't therapy!
Oh,
You really
this
this one, wait, never mind.
no.
Sometimes I say things and like I'm just like hoping a picture will show up next to me. This will never be therapy.
This therapy.
This. Yeah, exactly. You got therapy.
This spits out cereal.
Yes. Yeah, you got it. I knew you'd get it. I knew you knew what I was saying.
You will never have a room.
Yeah.
There's a room in Michigan. Okay, anyways.
Spit all out cereal all out that you were having for lunch.
Lunch!
Lunch! Guys, it's 10:05. Lunch is over.
Lunch is over. Get back to class.
Anyways, what were we talking about? Elvis?
Yeah.
Oh, do I have it?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the allegations.
First of all, Austin Butler, the sexiest little lesbian I have ever seen in my entire life. And that's why I was seated for that movie. Because, like, I turned it on and he came on screen with his little pink suit and his, like, eyeliner. And I was like, I am literally so attracted to you, but not you as Austin Butler. And not you as Austin Butler, as Elvis. You as this, like, gay Elvis, like lesbian Elvis that exists only in my mind. And like I don't think I can really communicate like this figure, but it was real and it was real to me. And I liked when they put words on the screen to say where they were. Like they were like Fort Lauderdale and it was like not Fort Lauderdale because that probably didn't happen. It was like Lauder Gardens or something. And it was like a building and it was like big block letters. And I was like, you know what? I actually support that choice because now they don't have to like work that into the plot to be like, we're in like, man, sunsets in Fort Lauderdale. I already knew where they were. I thought the transitions were crazy. And I also learned it was nominated for Best Cinematography, which I had to like pause the movie and like have a sip of water and like walk down the stairs and back up when I learned that.
That was a choice. Because that movie looked like doo-doo
like
caca.
shit. Like doo-doo caca.
Literal. Like, I need to find my Letterboxd review for this because I think I ate. Hold on.
It was like literally, it was actually PowerPoint transitions. Like I swear there was a grid at one point. I'm like this thing. I swear,
Okay,
like,
here's
was
my
like a tornado that moved off screen.
No, it was like the spinning like blackjack table or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
No, yeah, no, I know the exact moment you mean, and it like yeah.
Oh. Okay, here's my review. 3 stars have left the building because I gave it 2 stars. If I got $1 for the amount of times I wanted to scream "Get Real" at the screen, I'd probably have like $100, and it could have paid for a movie that looked better than this. The editing sends. I've never seen a movie that felt more like a movie trailer and looked like a live-action Disney remake. And the historical references were actually what a 13-year-old would write after learning about those events. I'm shocked Austin Butler is getting this much Oscar buzz for what is essentially a 2-hour and 39-minute version of when Jesse from Full House would do his Elvis impersonation. The best part was when a Doja Cat song played in like 1954. Did you guess that?
Yeah, no, that was what I was like waiting for because I didn't know that song was for Elvis, even though it is like Hound Dog. And I knew the song forever, and then it started playing, and I would like
My jaw dropped.
My jaw dropped.
And the use of slow-mo. I could literally go on and on. The 2 stars were for Priscilla's wardrobe. Okay.
I didn't get to Priscilla.
That's okay. It's honestly like she's barely a character.
5 stars for Austin Butler's eyeliner. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Fine.
It just took. The spirit took hold of me.
That's fine. But yeah, that movie, like, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, you're actually kidding me. Like, this can't be real. This can't be what I'm watching. Like, this can't be a movie that I'm watching. Especially, not just because it was bad, but because it was bad and people said it was good. And
I also can't get over the fact that he still talks like it.
No, it's not okay.
No words.
No words.
No words.
It's all quiet.
Golden Globes. It's quiet. I watched it's not quiet. I just started talking. His Golden Globe speech, and he was like, "Oh man, oh boy, oh pal, I couldn't believe this for a sec." Like, he didn't just have the accent. Like, he spoke like he was from the 50s, and I was like, ooh.
It was
no
stupid.
words.
Like,
no, I believe him.
What? You didn't even win.
I believe him that that it's ingrained.
I do too. But I do think it would be funny if he immediately went back to like talking normal after he lost. But yeah, the editing in that movie was crazy. I've never seen a movie like that. That was like so much was happening. Literally. And it didn't feel like I was watching a movie. Like I said, it felt like I was watching a movie trailer. But like the characters just were not fleshed out. Like, I don't know. They just felt very
a Don't Worry Darling vibe. If Don't Worry Darling like had any balls and like wasn't like boring.
Interesting.
Like, in the way it made me feel.
Interesting.
It's like if Don't Worry Darling was like an entirely different, more likable cast and made me laugh.
Interesting.
And one of them was like the most like attractive, like hottest, sexiest, like divine person to ever walk this earth. I'm literally not gonna get over this. I would have turned the movie off after 2 minutes if he didn't walk out on that stage in that pink suit. But whatever. Enough about that.
The pink suit.
The pink suit.
The pink stew was good.
I feel like a Harry Styles girl right now.
Oh my god, literally.
Just the way I'm talking.
The most divine creature.
The most like, he's like the way that they're literally like, and he is gender, and he is androgyny.
He is gender.
And he is gender. He is gender, and he is the absence of gender.
True.
That's how I feel about Austin Butler. Austin
Judith
Butler.
Part of...
Sorry.
What did you say?
I said Austin Judith Butler.
Now, who is Judith Butler?
Judith Butler's the one who like wrote, like, she kind of invented lesbianism or something.
Okay.
She did one. She was an important one in that.
She did that.
She did the thing. Sorry.
Jamie
Lee, you are all of us.
Jamie Lee, you are all of us.
Not. That is my favorite line in the song.
Jamie Lee, you are
unpopular opinion. Angela Bassett did the thing it's like iconic, and I think it wins for that reason. But it's like a common thing to say. Jamie Lee, you are all of us. Where did that even come from?
I don't know.
Syntactically, what?
Yeah, that was.
And I love Blanchett Kate because the
I
syllables.
love Blanchett Kate.
Like, it didn't have to be. You could have said Kate Blanchett. No, but Blanchett Kate. No, it does actually sound. She did have to do it. She did have to do
Blanchett Kate. You're a genius. Kate Blanchett, you're a genius.
No. Oh. Ew. Yeah, Blanchett Kate, you're a genius.
Yeah.
Speaking of, never mind.
I like how she just says Hong Chow. Dolly. Carrie and Carrie with the C. Like, okay. List those names, girl. You had something to say and you'd said it. Oh, but another thing I read was that Tom Cruise didn't attend the Oscars because he was avoiding Nicole Kidman, his ex-wife.
I saw that too. I also learned who Tom Cruise was yesterday. And the way that I like knew the name and I didn't know the face was always putting Tom Hanks to the face. And didn't know what he looked like. Didn't know he was married to Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Good thing that's all
He's a
over and done with.
Scientologist
I knew that. That's
and he's
actually what I
crazy.
did know, but I didn't know what he
And
looked like.
he's like definitely abusive to his wives because like he's literally in a cult. So
Right.
how would you, Um, and it just really irks me that everyone's like, he saved the movies. He did it. Like they just love him and they love Top Gun Maverick for saving the movies. And I'm I'm sort of I'm just I don't know, I'm like at a disconnect for like when Hollywood was ever lacking in like military movies starring abusers. What was the year that we didn't have one of those? Uh I don't know. No.
Sorry. Just doing some lighting checks. Check, check, one, check.
Sorry to drop a truth bomb on you.
Yeah. Well, I just don't. I just yeah. I'm like I don't have shit to say, but like what?
And it's not that
But
I think
what?
the movie is awful or like you should be hanged if you like that movie. Like no, it's totally fine to like that movie. It makes sense that you
You're
like
valid.
it was made to be liked. But like that's not what I was missing from the movies. That's not like really what I was wanting to be saved.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of things that were made to be liked, because I have some things to say.
Okay.
I have some pieces to say.
Okay, let's hear.
About everything ever all at once.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Once again. Okay.
once again, because I think that is it has had a really really interesting reaction that has like maybe because I saw it once because my roommate saw it. She was like, "This is an amazing movie." It was like after I had just seen The Matrix for the first time. She was and I was like, "I love The Matrix," because I love The Matrix. She was like, "It's just like The Matrix." Well, not really, but she's like, "It's similar,
Yeah.
like some similar ideas." She's like, "You have to see this movie." Saw it. I was like, "Wow, this is cinema. This is so good." I like cried a lot, and I don't actually I do cry in movies a good amount, but like I cried for a long amount of time in that movie. I
Mhm.
was like, "This is a great movie." And then I would tell people, "Oh my god, this movie is so good." And then I was like starting to doubt myself. I was like, "Was it actually that good? Was it overrated?" Like, and then I saw it again with you and my mom, and I was like, "Nope, I was right. This is an amazing movie." And then and then that happened where everyone, not everybody, I should stop saying everyone when it's only a fraction of people, but
Yeah.
are like, "No, like this movie's overrated." Like, it's one of those movies. Like, this is something I saw someone say, and I think it's really stupid. And the quote I read about it along those lines of like, it's a movie that like doesn't, I don't know, like it wants its audience to think it's smart by watching the movie. And I was like, who is sat for everything
That
everywhere
is
all at
so
once? Like,
stupid.
I'm a genius. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
Literally,
that's a projection to say that.
there's jokes about like butt plugs and ratatouille and like there's so much like dumb shit in that movie.
And
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 it's good. Like I love that. Like that's one of my favorite parts of it. But like it's to like watch that movie and be like, "Oh, this is like they're trying to like pacify their audience and like manipulate them and hypnotize them into thinking that they're like really smart, but also like if you watch this movie, you're stupid." Like what? Pick a
Because maybe
side. Like
it's
is
just
it too
cinema.
smart or is it too dumb?
Yeah, and I think it's like, because it's like, I think it's one of the most popular best movies ever. Because it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's like this like thing, like this thinking that like something that is the most popular will never be the best, and something that is the best will never be the most popular because the best things like have to go over people's heads, or they have to like offend, or like what it like they will never intersect at the two like best and most widely liked.
Or that
And
they
like,
have to be like specific and personal to you for you to like
yeah,
see them as the best, which makes sense. And like I think that a lot of my favorite movies might not be like super popular, I guess, because it's like they were feel like they were made for me, whereas like a lot of movies that are really popular that I like aren't are like more universal. But I don't know. I feel like this movie has a lot of elements that are really personal. Like it's an immigration story and like uh, gay, like acceptance sort, like there's a lot of elements of it that are really hyper specific, that aren't trying to appeal to like a giant audience, that are just like made for the people who made it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and I also think like because I like do understand the thinking of like what is the best will never be the most popular, and I think
Yeah,
that's actually true in a lot of situations because
I agree.
I think that like a lot of times things are formulaic to appeal to like the wide audience.
Hmm.
Um, and like I don't think it's a crime for people to not understand a movie, and I think like not saying that that's the case everything are all at once, like that's the opposite, but like sometimes things are good because they go over because like they're hard to understand and you have to work to understand them,
Yeah.
or they just might not resonate with you. And like some of my favorite things I don't relate to, and some of my favorite things are my favorite things because I don't relate to them, and I've had to work to like try and like
Yeah.
view it as an asset or whatever, whatever, whatever. But I think like so I think people are like fundamentally like it can't be the best and the most popular, and I think it's just like sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's just the
Sometimes
case.
the Beatles actually are really
Sometimes the
influential
Beatles
music.
are exactly,
Like what?
exactly, and like it just annoys me because then even I was like, ooh, maybe I agree, and then I was like, no, I actually don't because I saw it
Yeah.
twice, and both times I liked it more the second time.
I feel the same way where like I was starting to be like, maybe they're right because I listened to like this podcast
What
and
podcast?
it's called Oscar Bait,
I understand.
but it's spelled like Bate.
Like bait.
Like,
It
but anyways,
didn't connect that clearly to me
and
because there's
they're
a lot
like
of words that end
really,
in eight.
yeah. And they're like really cynical about everything and they hated this movie. Or like one of them hated
Hated.
the movie. Yeah.
How do
Like
you
they didn't
hate
like the
it?
movie. I know.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. But I was like, wait, they have like opinions that I usually respect, and like they're like really smart and like they work in the film industry and like they know all this stuff. But then I was like, wait, that's literally stupid because it's not true because I liked it.
Yeah. And we're actually always right about things.
We are always
That's
right.
because when I was like, wait, I
Interesting.
loved this movie and I thought it was really good, which can be two different things. There's a lot of things I love that are not good, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
things that are really good that I don't love. But I
Yeah.
was like, wow, I think it's a great movie, and I tend to be right about things. And you thought it was a great movie, and you tend to be right about things.
True.
So I think it has to be.
Yeah. Because
And
I do
that's,
think like the whole thing, like people say it's too easy to understand, but I just don't agree. Like I understood what it was saying, but I also feel like there's a lot of parts of it that like are very metaphorical and like we're very like symbolic and we're very, like it's not like it's
hmm
literally handing you shit on a silver platter. Like it doesn't still make you think and like
And I
it's
also
still
think to like for something to be like profound or like complicated, like it doesn't have to be like the ideas themselves, but I
yeah,
think the way they're, explained. And like, well,
yeah,
this isn't even about like if it's difficult or whatever, or profound or whatever. Just like, I think if something like, I think like a really good quality is for like something to explain something with very few like details, if that makes sense, or like
mhm,
it doesn't have to do a lot to get the point across. Like, I think
yeah.
that's a really great, and I think like the scene of like a rock with googly
That
eyes
I was
moving
literally
away
that's
while the other
such a
rock
good
gets
scene.
closer to it, and it's like, okay, it's silly, like it's not like hard to grasp what it's getting at, but that's like really respectable that a 2 second shot of one rock inching one way and another rock inching the other way, like that like communicates what it like communicates to the audience, like that's cinema right there,
That's cinema.
whatever, and that's cinema right there.
That literally is cinema right there. Yeah, it's a very entertaining movie. It's very funny. And also it made me cry. So like what's about
Made
that?
me
What about that?
cry.
Made me cry a lot. When I watched it in theaters, I cried, but then the second time I watched it, I was like in my house with Hannah and Anna and David, and it was just more of an environment where I felt like I could cry because like in the theater I'm kind of like not as comfortable. But then
Yeah.
when I watched it the second time, I was bawling. It was crazy. It's so good. Like what?
It's so good. It's so good, like what?
Like what? It's so good. Like what?
Yeah. So that's
So that's
yeah.
that.
So that's all I have to say. Also, I'll add I watched Banshees today. Loved it. Uh,
Wait, wait, wait. Wow, that was
Wait,
something.
this can't be right. You have to touch the edge of the screen first.
I am.
This is never gonna work out for us.
Why? It's literally working.
No, wait, I have to go like this and you have to go up. No, go
Wait,
yeah, go on the
why?
top of the screen because that's how it's gonna work because one video is always gonna be above slash below the
You're
other.
wrong. For me, it's sideways.
Well, that's not what I'm seeing.
Well, that's silly.
You're nowhere. Okay, whatever.
We tried.
One of us is right and one of us is wrong, and we'll find out.
Right.
Trying to think if there's anything more I have to say about the 3 movies I watched. Oh, well, yeah, about the 3 movies I watched. I love The Whale. Whatever, I don't care. I know I talked some shit. I contain multitudes. That's another thing is if I ever said anything that contradicted itself, like I do contain multitudes, and I change my mind all the time.
It's also not a contradiction when I say it or you say it.
Exactly, and
It's
yeah,
just true
it's
both
just
times.
I don't know. We can just like hold opposing truths, and I think that's
Yeah.
really cool about us.
Literally.
I love The Whale. I thought it was I thought it was great. I mean, I did say Sadie Sing's character was terrible, and I stand by that. But everything else about it, I liked. I talked about Tar. Loved that crazy chick.
She's crazy.
Love that crazy chick. But yeah, that was definitely my second favorite of the year, if not my first. They're almost tied to me. Like I just something about that movie.
That movie was crazy.
Something about it just really did.
Yeah, it was really good.
It just really did it. Just really, really did it for me. Blanchett, you're a genius.
But it's okay.
I just like movies that aren't in America. I mean, like half of that was. As in the one scene where she went home. But yeah. And I like I don't know, I like not knowing a lot of people in a movie.
Yeah.
Which is kind of all the time for me. Except also I think everybody's everyone, everything everywhere all at once. So I think I know everyone in a movie, but I really don't. But I like that I didn't know anyone besides Cate Blanchett in that movie. Like I didn't
Wait,
even
I
know...
want to read the text you sent. That was so confusing. When you were watching Banshees.
When I was watching Banshees.
You went...
Yeah, it was a mind fuck for
sure.
sure.
Bane. That's an interesting
I'm sorry to the Irish people / my ancestors for not looking up how to spell Siobhan. I thought I was right with Siobhan.
Siobhan is Mike's daughter-in-law, or Jenny from the L Word. But Mike's daughter-in-law was in The Whale, so probably not her. But also no way Jenny didn't fall off. Also, everyone is from the L Word.
And that's true, because Austin Butler is Shane from the L Word.
That's true.
And that's my line of thinking. And that's how I see it.
And that's how we're gonna end it today.
And we're not gonna end it like that, because Siobhan is actually Mike's daughter from Better Call Saul. Or daughter-in-law, excuse me. She was not in The Whale. I just assumed, because someone kind of looked like her, that was her. Different people. And that's how we're gonna end today. I set the record straight.
Okay. That's how we're gonna end it.
Alright.
See you next time.
Bye. Love. Love, love, love. Yeah.